Hi everyone. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is the well-being of people and their quality of life. Over the past few years, some ideas have been occurring to me on how Ontario, Canada's social assistance could be improved and tweaked to help the people who receive it. This morning I put together a letter to the head of the Ministry of Community and Social Services. That's the division of the Ontario, Canada government which delivers the social assistance program. I want to make this video as well to share my ideas for other parts of the world. Not all my ideas are about giving money. I'm primarily concerned about the quality of life and what may be done to help people own their health care and be motivated to live the best life that's possible. I very rarely use notes when I make my videos. Today's one of the days where I'm going to be referencing the letter that I wrote. So I want to ask that you'll mind me when I'm looking down. I don't like doing this, but I do want to use the note that I wrote this morning. The first idea I have concerns power wheelchairs. When I got new batteries for my power wheelchair, they came with a 6-month warranty from the local mobility store. Yet, you can buy the same batteries at a business here in town, and it comes with a 1 or 2 year warranty depending on the quality of the batteries. It's taxpayer money that funded my wheelchair batteries. I hate to see the taxpayers taken advantage of. And so I've questioned why or could the mobility stores be held to the same accountability as profitable businesses face. And I want to let you know that if you don't have coverage for batteries, there are a number sold at hardware stores, especially a big box store that has a strong auto parts division. There's manuals online to show how to install these, and you could easily save yourself a few $100s if you were to purchase these at a business instead of a mobility store. You will need to look into the warranty implications of doing this, but it's one way of saving money. The next idea that I have relates to when I've seen trees pruned and chipped at the curbside when I'm driving around town using my power wheelchair. I wonder if a Trees for Heat program could be established. That is, when trees are cut, they're transported to those who sell cords of wood and then sold on a sliding scale based on household income for those who heat with wood but don't have money to afford the normal cost of wood. The reason I think of using existing wood heat sellers is because they will already have the infrastructure in place for drying wood and delivering it as well. What I'm trying to look at is the best startup cost and how a business model could be used. You know, I think of a family that's north of here where the wife was being battered and had to flee to a shelter to save her life. And the financial stress that they're now under because of the marriage being dissolved. I hate to see people go without heat, and that's one of the ideas I have to help counter it and improve the quality of life for those who do choose to heat with wood. Another one of the items that I'm questioning is specific to the disability pension that I receive. It's that rent is considered an income and a percentage is clawed back if you do own a home and are charging rent to someone. Why I've brought this up is over the past few years, Ontario, Canada's budgets for personal support workers and attendant care workers have been ever shrinking. One idea I have is that a tenant could take on some of these tasks and be used to help with the quality of life for someone who's in the position of being a homeowner. And so I've asked that consideration be given that a doctor could have the rent percentage clawback be cut back. Having a tenant as part of your care regime is a creative strategy to managing quality of life and not having to pay more money for services that you're needing to manage in your day-to-day life. I was able to avoid needing to go on to disability when I was at my start of all this by having someone rent from me for about 3 years. And it was a really helpful thing in my life. I'm bringing this up to suggest it as an option for others who may not be able to afford a personal support worker, but at the same time could benefit by maybe offering reduced rent to help in their care regime if you build into the rental agreement specific tasks that someone would help you with. An example of what was helped with me was grocery shopping, cooking meals, some cleaning, and there were also the conversations that helped provide support as I was adjusting to the different lifestyle that came with having a long-term physical disability. The next idea is a direct impact of living on a low income below the poverty line. Each month I receive a statement in the mail. I think that this could be enhanced if an easy to cook recipe was included with the monthly statement as a means of equipping those who are receiving assistance. My thought behind this is that a dietitian could plan healthy meals for people who are living on a budget and share these without a great overhead expense. You know, the statement's already going out in the mail, so I'm thinking that it's one way of helping someone help themselves instead of always asking for help. Because I don't think necessarily giving out more money is always the answer. And I think this is one way that people could be equipped to better manage their health and not have to be living off of high salt, high sugar, high fat type meals. Another idea that I have is hosting woodworking and metalworking classes as a means of giving a life skill to someone who's receiving a disability assistance benefit. What I am thinking, or my thought behind this, is teaching somebody how to do something, making a specific craft, whether they prefer wood or metal, and then empowering them to make money by giving them the tools needed once they've proven that they can proficiently and safely use power tools. Even if it's just making, $50 a month or $100 a month, this gives meaning to life, and I think it would help people's mental health not deteriorate when they don't have something that gets them up out of bed in the morning. Another thing that's occurred to me is the sheer number of people, churches, and organizations that want to provide help to those who need it. The problem is that there's not a comprehensive directory that lists who's doing what and who their audience is. It's great that there's help out there, but if you're not connecting with your target audience, it's not reaching the people that are really needing it and that it would make a difference in their lives. Part of my suggestion with developing a comprehensive directory is also tracking who uses it. There's techniques with website programming to find out in a geographic sense where someone is. You could also save what people are searching for to get a pulse on what the needs are. Like, for example, where I live in Ontario is different than the needs that are in Northern Ontario. So I want to bring this up as a way of helping focus what money can be spent on social assistance so it's spent effectively by each geographic region. Another item that has gained my attention is the tiny homes movement. There's not a high upfront cost on building these. And in terms of managing a low-income budget, once you own your home, it helps break down the effect of poverty on your life. And so I'd like to suggest the tiny homes on wheels as an option of helping break the cycle of poverty for either one or two people living together. All around this area of Ontario, there's a multi-year waiting list for those who are trying to get into the geared income housing. There's only so many units available, and the need keeps rising as people lose their jobs, find themselves on disability, and meet with accidents that really weren't planned or thought about. Owning your home also allows you to modify it to the needs of your body. And so having a tiny homes on wheel program is one way of helping people make the best of their circumstances. And part of my idea is that perhaps units could be rented, and if you live there for a specific tenor, like 10 years, it becomes yours and you no longer have to pay into it. I realize there's certain logistical challenges with this, building permits, lots, zoning regulations. I think they're worth fighting through the bureaucratic red tape that this would cause to implement this, because of it helping someone not be in as much poverty and what it would mean to their life in the long term. I do realize that not everyone's going to want to own their own home. I just see this as an option for people who are motivated. I was in the geared to income housing in London, Ontario back about 12 years ago, and I saw how these bachelor apartments are laid out, and it completely would work with a tiny homes on wheel, provided that the person is motivated to live there. It's food for thought and an option. My final comment and idea comes from concern for the environment. Ontario, Canada has just implemented a cap and trade program that's hopefully going to reduce carbon emitted into the environment. For someone that's in a low income situation, it increases the burden and the stress on their finances. I wanted to suggest that those who are in low income homes and they own their own home be considered of a grant to convert their heating to geo-thermal. Geothermal is using the Earth's heat to heat your home with. It's environmentally friendly. I do need to mention that there is a circulating pump that passes the air through the house, but just with my natural gas furnace, there's a fan on it that's blowing the hot air into the house. These are the 9 ideas that I have to help improve the quality of life for someone that is on social assistance. I've shared them. I hope they're heard and may help more people than just those that are in Ontario, Canada. Thanks for this time that you spent with me today. Bye for now.